Well, let me tell you a story. There was an evangelist that came to town, and before he ever got to town, it was shortly after my husband had gone to be with the Lord, and the Lord told me. I felt this. I felt this pressure on me 2 or 3 days before he got to the city. And this voice said to me very clearly, "This is your husband, your new husband. And I have chosen him for you because he has a ministry like yours, and y'all will be a partner in the ministry." So when he got to town, I never said anything to him about that. But I watched him, and I liked him as a man of God. I liked him as an evangelist. But I knew that this was not somebody that I liked as a husband. So I took him out to the Ponte Vedra Club one day when he wasn't ministering, and I'm sitting there looking at him. And I made up my mind. I said, "Lord, I cannot marry this guy. I know if you told me that this is my husband, I'm pleading to you. I do not want to marry this man." And so then I got home, and I took authority over the voice that had spoken that to me. And I bound that voice up, and I said, "I bind you up in the name of Jesus. I am not marrying that man." I said, "I have no connection in that way with him." And as soon as I took authority over the voice, the supernatural voice that was speaking to me, I want you to know that a pressure just lifted off of me, and I felt free. And so then, after that, what happened was I went to the next meeting, and I watched him very closely. And the Lord spoke to me and told me he had a womanizing spirit. So after the meeting, I sat with him and talked to him, and I said, "The Lord shows me that you have a womanizing spirit." He said, he said, "My dad had that spirit." He said, "My dad, the women just ran after him." And he said, "Women are running after me all the time, and they're telling me that the Lord tells them that I'm going to be their husband." And so I talked to him, and I said, "Yes." I said, "A voice told me that too, but I checked the voices out and the Spirit of God, and it wasn't God talking to me." And I said, "That's a womanizing spirit." And I said, "Do you want to get rid of it?" He said, "Yes." So I took authority over the womanizing spirit over his life. And when I did, what happened was he got free. He was a born-again Christian. He was going around the country ministering, had an anointed ministry, in fact, had a deliverance ministry, and people were getting free. I'm telling you, friends, that if we don't do it God's way, we cannot be free. And God's way is to take the scriptures and do our lives as the scriptures say. If the scriptures are telling us that we must cast out devils, then we must cast out devils. And if somebody's a drug addict, if somebody is a womanizer, before they get saved, they run around with all the prostitutes. If somebody has been divorced before they got saved 4 or 5 times, all of these things need deliverance attention. And if they don't get deliverance attention, all of those curses will just keep repeating themselves over and over in that person's life. And so that's just a quick teaching tonight. I'm